And are you refreshed?
Yes.
Good. You have something more?
Yes. I'm curious to know if the ringing and the vibrations that I hear in my ears, if I'm supposed to perhaps perceive it in a different way, and maybe there's resistance.
That's what it is. That is what it is. That's what you're hearing.
So I've taken out the hearing aid in my right ear, but I still use it in my left ear. And whether I have the hearing aid on or not, I still have like buzzing, a lot of buzzing. And how do I get to
When the hearing aid is in the ear, does it amplify the buzzing? Or does it help you to hear around it?
It depends. I prefer it out. I would prefer to be able to hear naturally. But there's a lot of buzzing. There's a lot of buzzing in this ear, and I've grown to sort of like it because it's a part of me all the time. I'm just wondering.
This is the most important thing that we can say to you, or the most important thing that we would say to anyone about anything. It really applies here, though, so hear this. What is. And if you can accept it and not rail against it, then you can move from what is to something else. But if what is, and you have your attention on it and you're trying to make it go away, then what is does not go away. Isn't that interesting? There's no exclusion in this universe. There's no finding something and wanting to be rid of it without bringing it closer. And so it's a nice gift for you to become aware of something really important. Most people would hear that from us and then just get on to the next thing that we are saying and not ponder it or give too much attention to it. But when you are having to listen through something or listen around something, when you are having to really ignore a condition in order to focus, then you're going to have an opportunity to really understand what focusing unconditionally is. You see what we're getting at? It's like focusing around it. It's like hearing something else. At a seminar a while back, there was a significant buzz in the room that everyone in the audience just had to learn to listen around, because it wasn't going to go away. It was present, and they wanted to hear what we had to say, so they just had to sort of tune it out while they tuned us in. And it's a bit like that.
What is bumper sticker?
What is.
Okay.
And making peace with what is the fastest route to something different. But not liking something that is enough that you're really hard after it just amplifies it.
Yeah. So when we create things in our life and we want to sort of go back, for example, I'm going to use my hearing, right? So until I was an adult, an older adult, I could hear almost supersonically. I could hear what somebody was saying in that, in the opposite corner. And now I'm ready. I want to be able to hear the bigger palette.
Meaning?
More. I want to hear more, some of the things that I don't hear now that I've blocked out. I feel like I know I can't go back to that, but will I get my hearing back?
You can get to anywhere from anywhere when you understand that you're bringing what you want to you rather than you trying to get to it.
That's what I did to get up here.
and then you just came up and sat down.
Twice.
Easier than it looks, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Enough?
Yeah.
Because what you're reaching for, and we get it, what you're reaching for is an immediate solution. You would like us to give you some words that you could then focus upon and feel relief from. We want you to find the relief without the condition having changed. So even if we are to offer soothing words, that is in essence changing the condition a bit so that you can have a different response to it. If you can stay focused upon the law-based comments that we've been offering to you, you've helped us through the specifics of what you're living say a lot of things today that will benefit a lot of people relative to every subject that is important to them. So just be easy about it. And these are the words that we want to leave you with. Don't fret over what you can't hear. Revel in what you can. And then the improvement occurs. But the fretting over what you can't hear causes the not improvement to grow.
What?
Tomorrow you won't be able to see. She knows she creates her own reality. And that we're all just having fun. Are you coming? Someone coming?
Welcome to Asheville.
Everything is mind, isn't it?
Yes.
Everything is mind. And since everything is mind, then let's say everything is focus. And since everything is focus, then let's say everything is about attention. And since everything is attention, then let's say everything is about perception. And since everything is about perception, let's say everything that is perception is very personal. And so if you make creating more personal, less what others are doing and more what you are doing, less what others are thinking and feeling and more what you're thinking and feeling, less about trying to get them to be like you or think like you or understand you, and more about you identifying who you are and coming into concert with who you really are, more about what's flowing out, less about what's flowing in. In other words, don't you want to just get hold of things? Don't you want to deliberately perceive? Don't you want to train yourself in to a position that you can be anywhere with anyone and still be in alignment? Or in this world that's becoming more and more diverse, do you want to wedge yourself into a tighter corner with fewer around you for your comfort? You came for this diversity, and you came to revel in it. You came to be like Source, in the sense that Source sees it and doesn't cringe at any of it, because there is an understanding of the perfection of all of it, you see. So if you are to ever be of any value to anyone, you cannot see where they are as something not wanted. You see, it's like, think about it just in very rudimentary terms. If you had some condition and so you're going to a physician that you believe will help you, and the physician goes, ooh, oh my, oh my, oh my, that would be unsettling. But if he clearly is not off-put by it, if he just accepts it as something that is and is solution-oriented right away, that's what we're getting at here, you see.
Mm-hmm. So when I feel grief, that's a signal from my inner being that inner being doesn't see it as a loss, doesn't experience loss.
Your inner being does not send you grief as a signal, but you feel grief as a signal because your inner being is doing something different than you were doing in the moment.
Right.
That's an important distinction.
I'm perceiving loss, and my inner being does not agree with me that there has been loss.
Precisely. And in your perception of loss, You behave differently with your friend, and it makes her cranky.
I don't blame her. That
see?
is absolutely, I am sure that that is true. Yes, that's why she's cranky. Because everybody perceives it as, I mean, she speaks as if she perceives it as a loss. Like she's bummed that she can't see as well, and she's bummed that she can't do things, and it's frustrating to her. And that's sort of what I think when I got up here. I'm like, how can I help her remember what she knew before?
By seeing her unconditionally in a good light.
In a good way.
And by not needing her to do something that she can't do in order for you to see her in a way that she would like you to see her.
And not needing her to agree with me about that. That's what I see about her.
And don't give it a bunch of words either, because nothing is more irritating than for you to agree with someone's malady or for you to try to help them remove the malady. In other words, there's resistance that comes from them in either case. In other words, be accepting of what is. Be accepting of what is. It takes the sting out of everything. And by accepting, we mean don't make a big deal about it. That's why we were harshly saying, none of your business, none of your business, none of your business. Don't make uncomfortable things your business. Esther would say to us in the early days when we were saying things like that to her. Jerry and Esther were driving around Phoenix in the early days when they met us, and Jerry would see some injustice somewhere. He was always riding around on his white horse, wanting to make the world a better place, and he would see some injustice, and we would say, that's not your work. And then he'd see some other injustice and ask us about it, and we would say, that's not your work. And then he would see some other injustice, and he would ask us about it, and we would say, that's not your work. And finally, about 1,000 questions later, he said, what is our work? What is my work? And we said, to focus upon what you want, period. To focus upon what feels good to you. You didn't come to save the world or to make the world a better place. You came to explore this platform, to identify improvement and preferences and to line up with them. You came to be a receiver and a transmitter of energy. And you are of much benefit when you are connected to Source as you are doing that, you see. And so sometimes people think that what we are saying is don't try to help others. And the opposite of that is really what we are saying. We are saying you can't help others if you are not in alignment. If you don't connect, you've got nothing to give. And if you let them be the reason that you are not connected, then you really don't have anything to give. And then those relationships begin to feel like burdens. And in the moment that someone begins to feel a little burdensome to you, that's really hard for them to take, because it's the last thing that she wants to be. There's an independence there that is at the heart of that dementia, a true independence. Yeah.
I can believe that of her for sure.
Yeah.